Assalamualaikum and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. So, thank you for tuning in to our live YouTube show. Despite this pandemic, all of you seem to be eager in learning new knowledge regarding Islam. So, as you know, we uncover different topics every week, and this week we are going to discuss about the sources of Shariah in Islam with our esteemed guest from IIEM. So, without further ado, I'm going to invite Sis Fika and also Sis Aisha to enlighten us about the main sources of Shariah, which is the Quran. So, proceed.
Assalamualaikum everyone. I am Afika and I will explain the definition of Al-Quran and the distinctive feature of Al-Quran. First, the literal meaning of Al-Quran. Al-Quran is derived from the word Qara'a, which means recitation or reading, and the technical meaning of Al-Quran is the book containing the words of Allah revealed to the Prophet Muhammad SAW and transmitted to us by continuous testimony, which is mutawatir. Next, I will explain the distinctive feature of Al-Quran. First, it is the word of Allah, which is Al-Quran is contains the word and the meaning from Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala, and the Prophet task is only to convey the message to the people. And next features is it is revealed in Arabic language, which is the language of the Prophet Muhammad SAW. Therefore, the translation of Al-Quran is not considered as Al-Quran. Next, it is revealed in a mutawatir manner, which is it is revealed to the Prophet Muhammad SAW, but transmitted to us to the following generation, which has a large number of people, which is that impossible for this large number of people to agree upon a lie. Hence, this proves the authenticity of Al-Quran. Next, miracle. Al-Quran is the eternal miracle of Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala revealed to Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. This means that there are no other creations can create Al-Quran, even the jinns or even the mankind. Last but not least, Al-Quran is complete and comprehensive. As mentioned in Surah An-Nahl, verse 89, we have sent down to you Al-Quran, which is as explain of everything, as a mercy, as a guidance, and glad tidings for everyone who have submitted to Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala as a Muslim. Now I will pass the floor to Aisha.
Thank you, Sister Afrika and Miss Moderator. My name is Nur Aisha binti Muhammad Syahidah and I will be presenting about the features of Quranic legislation. There are 6 features of Quranic legislation, which are graduality, qat'i and zonni, brevity and detail, asbab and nuzul, ijaz, and at-ta'lil. And I will be explaining one by one. First is graduality. In order to make people understand and implement the new rules, Quranic legislation were revealed gradually, and we can see this in the matter of prohibition of alcoholic drinks. There are 3 phases in prohibiting alcoholic drinks. In first phase is in Surah Al-Baqarah, where alcoholic drinks have greater sins than benefits, and the second phase is mentioned in Surah An-Nisa, where alcoholic drinks were prohibited before Salah, and the third phase is where alcoholic drinks were fully prohibited in Islam, as mentioned in Surah Al-Ma'idah. And the second features is definite and probable, which is qat'i and zonni. Text in Quran in conveying rules may be very clear, which is qat'i, or it may lead to some more than one interpretations, which is zonni. Rulings of the Quran in the essential of faith, like prayer and fasting, and also rules and also shares of inheritance are qat'i and they are not open to ijtihad. Zonni, on the other hand, promotes and encourage ijtihad. And the third features is brevity and detail. In the Quran, a large parts of it mention the general guidelines, and small part of the Quran lay down the specific guidelines. For example, Quran lays down general guidelines on almost major topic on Islamic law. Because the world is changing, there are some matters that is liable to change and new principle that is more suitable for the change of time. Hence the general guideline. The wisdom for the specific in specific guideline in the Quran is that they are principles that are essential for existence and continuation of social order. And the fourth features is asbab an-nuzul or occasion of revelation. It refers to events which are related to the revelation of the text, of the Quranic text, and ignorance of asbab an-nuzul may lead to misunderstanding the command of the rules. And the second last of features of Quranic legislation is ijaz or inimitability of Quran, inimitability of the Quran. And there are four features of Quran that cannot be imitated by anyone. The first one is language excellence, which even Arabic people cannot be on the same level as Quran. Second is narration of the previous people, which took place centuries ago. Third is accurate prediction of future. For example, Conquest of Mecca have been mentioned in Surah Al-Fat. And the last features of the Quran that cannot be imitated is discoveries of science. For example, development of embryo have been mentioned in Surah Al-Mu'minun. And the last features of Quranic legislation is justification or at-ta'lil. Illah refers to the purpose of the law. And there are instances where Quran justify its ruling from the previous verse. This is such explanation are designated to make Quran easier to understand to Muslims, to believers. For example, the Quran regulates the distribution of booty among the needy, the orphans, and the wayfarers. And I quote it from the Quran Al-Hajj verse 7, so that wealth does not merely circulate among the rich. However, some of the Quranic verses are independent of justification, meaning that even though there is no further explanation to the previous verse, Muslims are supposed to accept its ruling, regardless of whether they can be explained rationally. So that's all from me. Get back to the moderator.
So now we have been cleared about the Quran as one of the main source of Shariah. So now let's move on to the second source, which is Sunnah. So before we go in deeper into this subtopic with Sister Ilham, allow me to share some of the basic knowledge as well as the meaning of Sunnah. So literally, Sunnah is defined as a clear path or beaten track or a way. The Arabs use this word to in reference to the ancient and continuous practice of the community, so which they inherited from their ancestor. So later, the term was applied to the practice of Prophet ﷺ, and the opposite of Sunnah is Bid'ah, which is innovation. So all what is narrated from the Prophet ﷺ, which including his action, sayings, and whatever he has tacitly approved, as well as the reports which describe his physical attributes and character, are also considered as Sunnah. So generally, Sunnah is often used interchangeably with Hadith. However, Sunnah actually includes all the sayings, doings, and tacit approval of Prophet, while Hadith is actually a narration of the sayings of the Prophet ﷺ. The authority of Sunnah is in Islam cannot be questioned, and it has been stated in the Quran in many verses. So one of them is actually from Surah An-Najmi, verses 3 and 4, which says, "Nor does he say aught of his own desire." So it is no less than an inspiration sent down to him. So can Sis Ilham elaborate more on the classification of Sunnah as well as the role of Sunnah in Islam?
Okay, thank you, Miss Moderator, for the question. My name is Hamrodia bint Abdul Razak, and I will continue the explanation regarding the classification of Sunnah. So regarding the classification of Sunnah, there are a few classifications that we need to pay attention to. Firstly, Sunnah that is according to the reference to a particular authority is divided into 4 types: Hadith al-Qudsi, Hadith al-Marfu', Hadith al-Mawquf, and Hadith al-Maqtu'. Secondly, it is classification according to the number of reporters involved in each state of isnad. It is further divided into two types of hadith, which is hadith mutawatir and hadith al-ahad. Next, according to the nature of the text and isnad, sunnah can be further classified into three kinds. First one is ziyad al-thiqah, which is a particular hadith reported in different sanad or the chain of narrators by additional authentic reporters. The second one is hadith al-munkar, which is a hadith which is reported by a weak narrator and its narration goes against the another authentic hadith. The third one is hadith al-mudraj, which is an addition of sunnah. An addition but reported to the text of the hadith being narrated. Lastly, classification of sunnah was based on the degree of reliability of the sunnah. There are four types of hadith, mainly hadith sahih, hadith hasan, hadith da'if, and hadith mawdu'. The authentic collections of hadith refers to hadith collected by Sahih Bukhari, Sahih Muslim, Sunnah Ibn Majah, Sahih Abu Dawud, Sunnah An-Nasa'i, and Jami' al-Tirmizi. The next point is regarding the role of sunnah. The main role of sunnah is as an explanatory of the Quran and an integral with it. Scholars have identified several main areas of the role of sunnah in regards to the Quran. It includes, first one is re-emphasizing of Al-Quran. This means that sunnah re-emphasize the injunctions of Al-Quran. The second one is sunnah provides an explanation of elaboration of Al-Quran. Thirdly, sunnah may enact a ruling on which Quran is silent about it. And this kind of sunnah is referred to as sunnah al-mu'assisah or the founding sunnah. I think that's all from me. I return the floor back to the moderator.
So thank you, Sister Ilham, for the elaboration. Now we are going to proceed with the final source, which is ijma. And for this, we have invited Sister Dini and also Sister Shafika to explain this topic further.
Okay, so I will explain firstly is the definition of al-ijma. So literally al-ijma means to agree and to determine on something. So and so has decided on such and such. The second literal meaning is anonymous agreement, which means the people decide, the people achieve anonymous agreement on such and such. The technical meanings by Ali ibn Hussein al-Amidi, he said that the anonymous agreement of mujtahid of Muslim community of any period following demise of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam on any matter. On the other hand, Muhammad Abu Zahra contradict with, different in terms of meaning when he said that instead of on any matter, he said that on Sharia matters, which is focusing on Sharia matters only. The basis of al-ijma stated in Surah An-Nisa, verse 115, it said that whoever opposed and against Prophet Muhammad SAW, which he was clearly given or shown the right path, and that people decide to follow way other than the believers' way, we should keep him in that place that he has chosen. However, he will be placed in the hell, which is the most evil destination. Also in the Surah Al-Imran, verse 103, it said that cling together firmly by means of Allah rule. And then Rasulullah also said that my ummah shall not agree on error. So the majority of scholars agree that an anonymous agreement of the mujtahid means that the truth is prevail among the differences. The consensus of opinion here means that all the mujtahid agree upon the strength of the truth. Also, the anonymous agreement means there is an authority of the ruling which has been agreed by the mujtahid. Okay, I pass the floor to Shafika.
Now we will continue what Sister Dini has explained. So my name is Sitina Shafika Mintina Azmi. So we'll come to the part of requirements of al-ijma. In order to validate an al-ijma, the scholars have regulated the process of al-ijma by placing certain requirements, where there are 8 in total of them. So the first one will be agreement, the second is unity in agreement or opinion, and the third one is anonymous agreement of all mujtahidin. And the fourth one is agreement of all mujtahideen in a particular period of time. And next one will be mujtahideen of the Ummah of Islam. And the sixth one is after the demise of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And the seventh is agreement upon Shariah legal matter. And the last one would be express opinion. After that, we have two types of al-ijma. So the first type is al-ijma al-sarih, or known as explicit consensus. And the second one would be al-ijma al-sukuti, which is implicit or tacit consensus. To explain, al-ijma al-sarih is an ijma in which every mujtahidin expresses his opinion or either verbally or by action. And the second and the last one would be al-ijma al-sukuti, where it is when some of the mujtahidun of a particular time give an express opinion concerning an incident, but the rest remain silent. For example, we have the school of thought of Hanbali, where they mention that it is a valid and accepted evidence. However, the school of thought of Shafi'i and Hanafi believe that it is not a valid evidence. And that is all of my explanation. We will go back to our moderator, Sister Ayani. Thank you.
And also thank you to all of our esteemed guests for making their time, sharing their knowledge with regarding this important information with us today. So unfortunately, we have come to the end of our show today. Hopefully we'll meet again for a new discussion next week. Goodbye and Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.